Hello, Dave.
Hello.
Hello.
You having fun? Oh, we're live. Ah, we're live.
Are we?
We're live.
Not
Thank you
the
very
stream I'm
much.
watching.
Oh dear,
Oh.
what's going on?
Dave, this is Wild. Wild, this is Dave. Simos, this is Dave. Dave, this is Simos. Everybody here is a friend of mine.
Spooky is the man.
I see it live on my channel.
Great. Okay. So now you can
Yes.
hand out spanners, which will help people put links and stuff in.
Yeah.
So if you go to the YouTube chat, you'll find there's 3 dots next to people's names on the right-hand side.
Oh
And then
yes.
you can just drop down and it should say add moderator.
Cool.
Right, and
Yeah,
welcome
got it.
Got Clouds. Thank you very much for dropping by. Hello, Doubting Thomas. Good to see you here. Thank you very much indeed.
Yes, thank you very much for being here. I have to say that I feel totally overwhelmed with gratitude for the support that I've received from people from both communities, atheist and Christian. A special shout out to Simus, of course, for all his wonderful ongoing support. And a special shout out to Bruce of Bible Fight Club and Andy Capp from the Christian communities, who have been very warm with their support for me. As some of you may know, I've recently confronted Smoky Saint and Will Kincaid about their callous and cruel mockery of people who are either ill, in pain, or who have even been bereaved. Their victims are from both atheist and theist communities. As I expected, I received a lot of verbal abuse, which included telling me to go and kill myself. Now, the prompt for me to go onto Smokey's panel in one of his live streams very recently was that I had caught him saying that I had disappeared from YouTube for months and that this was proof. I'm getting a bit of... Is the sound okay? Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, I think Simon might be being a bit windy, or somebody.
I'm a bit out of breath. I beg your pardon.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's all right, no problem.
That's okay.
The prompt for me to go on to Smokey's panel was that I'd caught him saying on another channel, I think it was Bruce's channel, that I had actually disappeared from YouTube for months, and that this was proof of my chastisement from God. This had actually followed on from his death prayer challenge a few months prior. Anyway, just to say that this live stream is a response to all of that. Smoky Saint also told me that I had brought shame on myself and shame on my country. Now, excuse me, Scotland would actually be very proud of me for standing up. Standing up is what we do. It's what we're known for. It's the Scottish spirit. Are we Scottish wifey standing up against foreign bullies? They'd give me a medal and put me on the front page of the Courier. Joking. But we stand up, and we stand up together. That's what we're known for, the Scottish people. You really don't want to mess with us Scots. I mean, even the Romans couldn't tame us, and we still have that spirit within us.
And the Romans were hard.
The Romans were damn hard, yeah. They ended up building a wall. Now, I live in a Victorian Scottish tenement building, four floors, 8 flats. For the first few years living there, I didn't really know who my neighbours were. Most of us just kept ourselves to ourselves, living our own lives, minding our own business. And it felt more like we were strangers, really, to be honest. At least that's how I felt. Then a Polish gang took over one of the top floor flats, and bang, everything changed. These were a very violent and threatening gang of Eastern Europeans. They fought all the time in the hallways. They did a lot of physical damage to the property. And what actually happened was that us residents in the flats, us Scots, came together for the first time. We supported each other. We listened to each other. We listened to each other's concerns. And we eventually managed to clear them out. From that time on, the relationship between the neighbours became a very strong one. The police, who were also involved in supporting us, we had regular meetings with the police who said, you have to get these people out. They even commented that they were surprised at how strong this small community had come together, supported each other, and managed to clear them out. So the process of standing up and taking on these bullies actually is an opportunity to galvanise people, to bring them together, to support each other and stand together. And you might be thinking, why should you listen to me? I've had a lot of life experience, a lot of professional experience in working with people from all sorts of backgrounds. And I think I'm a bit further along the road of life than most of you. So I guess what I'm asking of the community here, I'm asking people to consider a zero tolerance policy against verbally abusive behaviour. I'm speaking about the behaviour, not the people. I'm not asking people or expecting people to cancel anybody. Above all, I'm asking people to consider being kinder to each other. Excuse me, my cat's in the background. To listen to each other. And I think that's the main thing, is to listen to each other. And that's all I've got to say on that subject. If anybody wants to jump in and comment or question.
Well, no, I mean, there's not a lot more that can be said. That's pretty eloquent, I feel. And yes, I would completely agree with the sentiments involved. I think if we can be tolerant, as you say, of each other, then the dialogue can go a lot further. And if the dialogue goes further, then we have more understanding. And I think that's what's really missing. And giving people a chance to say their piece in a respectful way is, of course, the best way to have a dialogue or a debate anyway. So the fact that there are certain people in the community that don't wish that to happen kind of betrays their position as being ignorant, and that's, of course, not something which is going to enlighten anybody. So I would completely and wholeheartedly agree with what you're saying, Wild.
That's great. Thanks, Simus.
Yes, I know Smokey and Will and various other people, and up to a point, there was a bit of a laugh, but some of their stuff just went, well, that was too far. When like joking about dead babies and relatives going to hell, it was just well beyond the pale, really.
I have to also add that I feel I've been given the courage to stand up to them from the support of people in the community, and even the support of my neighbours in real life, because I was actually talking to them in the garden about all this. So you might hear some other Scottish accents at some point down the line, because they sounded quite interested in all this and getting involved as well. And also another thing that had prompted me was I heard a man sort of cry out saying, "Please stand up and say this is wrong. You are my friend, please stand up." And that had quite an impact on me. So what I did, I stood up. I think I felt more uncomfortable not standing up than I did actually when I stood up and went on to that channel. I actually felt liberated from my fear, even though I got a lot of abuse in return and quite a lot of aggression from Will Kincaid. Very aggressive.
Yeah, and it is, of course, it's of course their main coping mechanism is to be aggressive to people, and especially, you know, the fairer sex. And I feel that that's one of the reasons why these people really need to be isolated, not engaged with personally.
Yep.
I don't think they have any other way to engage, in other words. So I can't remember the last time I heard a decent conversation with either of them, even amongst themselves, even between themselves.
When you listen to their Discord conversations where they discuss people after the fact, the ridicule and the way that they dismiss people that will not fall in line, should we say.
And they're also doing it under the banner of Christianity.
It's how they dismiss people from. They can't believe that any thinking, or they seem to not be able. I'm trying to speculate. They don't seem to be able to accept that somebody can have a rational, reasonable opinion that doesn't agree with them. Therefore, you're insane and need to be beaten up and shut up. That their aim is to shut you up
and sent to hell.
Yeah.
I mean, I fully believe that individual wants me dead. He said it publicly.
Don't think they know what I think it means something different to them. If that makes sense.
To me, dead's dead.
Of course it is to you. I totally agree. But my point is that I don't. I encountered religious people that all the time. I mean, they casually justify the behavior of their God, but killing people because God is allowed to. That's what He wants. It's morally right. And they think that everything to do with their religion and everything surrounding it fits. It works the same way. So wanting to, again, see you dead because you don't agree, just fits into that narrative.
Oh, hi, Bruce.
Hey there.
Great to see you, Bruce.
Good to see you guys. How are you doing?
Hi, Bruce.
Hello, Bruce. Never better. Never better.
There we go. How are you doing? Uh-oh. Wait, I got...
I think you
who's
might
the
have your
amateur?
YouTube stream on, so we'll just give you a little tile.
I did. I had it on. So.
I don't think. I personally don't think they're representative of the majority of Christians, and
No,
certainly
not
the
at all.
most
Yeah.
Christians in our community. They, you know, obviously, I think they're a particular type of, I don't know, personality type, which is just, I don't know, defective in the sense
completely
of
agree.
being socially aware or at least empathetic, and
Oh
whatever
God,
in their
yeah.
life has caused them to be that way, I have no idea.
It bothers me
Or,
that they are causing other Christians to leave.
yeah, again, I mean, it's up for the Christians to do something about it, and I don't think it's, as atheists, we can do a lot about it. And it's up to them to try and call them out and take them aside, as it says in
I think we
Scripture,
can.
and have a word with them, and then have a word twice, and then if it's the third time, to call them heathens
I
and
think we
start
can.
denying that they are Christians.
I think what we can do is talk to the good Christians.
Bruce, I mean, Bruce has been very, very warm and supportive towards me, and even honoured me by introducing me on his stream as his new sister.
Oh,
I thought that was lovely. You know, and I think it's heartwarming how Christians and, you know, the other side, atheists, can come together when someone, whether they're from either team, sort of steps over the line. And it's that stepping over the line that's kind of gone past just name calling. I'm thinking about Bill of Ministry of Reconciliation and what he's suffered through losing his daughter. I'm thinking of Nokasuchi and what he's suffering and the way that they're trying to destroy his character and reputation. Because I went on their stream and I says, no, there's nothing wrong with the photograph on his Facebook. It's an innocent photograph. Any normal, reasonable person would think that was an innocent photograph of a father and daughter. It's all very cruel and callous. It's all very malicious. Sorry, I didn't mean to end up going on a rant.
Oh, it's your channel. Did I?
Sorry, I'll shut up now.
No, I gave him a comment in how he did in that debate thing, and then he said it was a sycophantic. What in the heck? Emotional response. I don't know. I forget the whole thing. I'll probably just make a video on it just to cover it because it gets lost in a hangout. But so bizarre.
The standing for truth one. Standing for truth.
Yeah. Yes. And well,
yeah.
then he came by my channel that night, and I said, I said, yeah, you did a good job. This is what you do good. And so instead of seeing it that way, he turned it into I don't know what. I guess his issue was the niceties and such. But what's funny is if when he was on the Standing for Truth thing, had he treated people, Matt Powell guy, had he called him a sycophantic whore or something, I suspect he would have been kicked, you know. So I don't. Maybe he needs to try that behavior in some of his debates when he gets in them like that, you know. See how that's accepted, you know. Oh well, who knows what it's about at this point? I'm not. It's very hard to tell. It's totally bizarre.
Well, I think I've made my point now to Smokey and Will. So I don't think I've got no intention of going back into their streams again because I've already done that and made my point. But I do enjoy the community here. I have really enjoyed interacting with most people. You know, I do have a genuine interest to find out about people's faiths, why they believe in God, and I would never attack somebody's faith I don't have a faith myself, but I'm super fascinated to find out why people do.
You were a
my-
Buddhist, weren't you, back in the day?
Yes. Deep down, I'm a Buddhist. I'm not currently practicing in the sense that I'm not regularly meditating, and I'm not in regular contact at the moment with other Buddhists. But I've been a Buddhist since the year 2000, and the sort of teachings of compassion stay with me.
Yeah, I don't know how. Every so many years, it seems like you'll see people like this show up on YouTube, and it's always been mind blowing to me. I've only seen it so many times. I mean, it's not.
Well,
that.
Brett Keen's doing the rounds again, isn't he? Showing up
Oh,
on
yeah.
various. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy. I don't. He. I don't really believe much of anything he says. I mean, I've seen him lie about me, and too many other people complaining about the same kind of thing. That I don't know. Yeah, I don't trust him at all. You know, they almost fit together there, him and Smokey.
There is a connection. Yeah, the sidekick, same sidekick.
Ah, yes.
I'm surprised that thing that Will said to you, Wild Eden, but then didn't he? He did apologize then.
He did apologize. He did apologize, but he said he was only apologizing for that part of it, and he'd also mentioned rape in his angry diatribe, which is actually on video. So it was only the telling me to go kill myself that he apologized, and I accepted it at the time because I was taken aback. I was surprised. But when I thought about it, I didn't think it was a sincere apology, and to my shame, I threw it back at him.
He actually did a stream the other day, but on his not on his main channel. On his he's got a smaller channel. When I watched it, it only had 8 views at the time. But he mentioned you again, but unfortunately, I can't remember the details. Wild.
Yeah.
Oh.
I told Will that I used to like him, and I'd actually subscribed to his channel back in the early days. Anyway.
Yeah, goes to show. No accounting for taste.
Yeah, I
think I think it's really easy, especially at the beginning, right? I mean, I probably haven't told anybody this for some time, but a few people will know it already, which is my very first day. I had been listening to some atheist experience, and in the side chat popped up a Nadia link. So I thought, oh, well, that'd be interesting. So I jumped into a Nadia chat, and everybody was really nice, and they wanted to, oh, well, who are you? You're new to the community, isn't that great? Explain X, Y, Z. So I explained what I was as an atheist, and explained my position and the reasons I was, and etc. etc. And Brett Keen was in there, and he just let loose at me, and it's my very first day on YouTube in a live chat, and yeah, basically he just went at me for like half an hour straight without any let up at all, just telling me what kind of a rubbish person I was, and etc. etc. Usual Brett Keen stuff. And I just, after half an hour of this, I just kind of went, well, look, I'm not going to sit here and take this, so I'm leaving. So I left thinking, right, well, I'm never going back there again. And I was very lucky that a very nice guy called Xbox Fiend happened to have been watching, and he sent me a DM in Google Plus and said, come over to our hangout. We're having a hangout. Come over to our hangout, and I'll explain what all that was about. So I said, oh, okay, great. So I jumped in there, and they told me what kind of a community it was. It was the Great Debate community, and there were two sides, and there were certain people, and Brett Keane was one of these types of people, etc., etc. And thank you to Xbox Fiend, and Soccer Count was somebody else that was in there and explaining to me the wisdom of YouTube. And so I did stay around again, and I went in the next day to Nadia's, and he was in there again, and I was all prepared to have a real slinging row with him, and he apologised to me. So I thought, well, that's no good. I've just got myself all worked up to have a real go at this bastard, and here he is apologising to me. So yeah, that was talk about contrary experiences at the beginning. And again, to my chagrin, I lost it a little bit. I accepted his apology, but there were other people in there, and whatnot. There was certain Matthew Bell in there, and he was telling Brett off for apologising to me because I was an atheist. So I lost it with him instead, and I shouldn't have, even though it's that person.
I think you should have.
Yeah, maybe. But it took me another few times of listening to and engaging with Matthew Bell before I finally went, you are the worst person I've ever met in the history of my life. So I'm quite happy to sit here and tell you jokes about why I used to bully people like you, But anyway, again, I lost it, and I shouldn't have done it. I think that's something we all do once on YouTube when we're confronted with people that just don't want to listen and just want to be passive aggressive to us. So
welcome, Jefferson. Welcome.
I wouldn't take it in. Yeah, welcome, Jeff.
Yeah. Thanks for letting me on, and congrats on your this is your first stream.
Yeah, I didn't intend it to be as emotional and dramatic, or maybe that's just how I'm feeling.
Well, emotions. Excuse me. I just wanted to point out. I believe emotions are going to be outlawed soon. Smokey's getting rid of them.
I've always been a rebel.
No more emotions.
Well, I mean, I'm half Scottish and I'm half Hungarian. And my father, he was a Hungarian freedom fighter. So I've got the rebel genetics in me for standing up to bullies.
So yeah.
How is Smokey doing, by the way, Eden? Is he just as crazy as he ever was?
If you check my stream, I've got a short video called Smokey Saint Go Easy on Will, guys. And it's just a recording of the abuse that I've got.
Go easy on Will. I read it and just went, what on earth does this mean? I listened to it and went, oh, I see. It's firmly with the tongue in the cheek, yes. You can take our freedom, but you can never take our women.
That's right.
I don't know. I actually don't know what the quote is, but
Scottish women are unstoppable. You should have seen the other ladies in the tenement. The way they just confronted these the East European gang. Yeah. I mean, I used to get woken up. They used to fight in the hallway, violent fights in the hallway. I used to get woken up by the bodies banging against my front door.
Oh my God!
But the beauty of it was that we all came together, and from starting off feeling like strangers, we actually became a lot closer. We learned a lot about each other we didn't realise. And now I could go and knock on anybody's door, if I needed anything without any hesitation, and vice versa. And, not one of us felt brave enough, but sort of being together and basically just listening to each other's concerns and feeling supported gave us the courage. And that's kind of the message I wanted to get across. If anybody else finds himself in a situation where they're being subject of really nasty verbal abuse, it's I think it's something for the community to consider. I mean, and I know there's this argument, oh, it's just the internet, you can switch it off. But I think, like during the pandemic, when a lot of us have been in lockdown, and a lot of us have maybe relied on YouTube or the internet or other social media for our social contacts. If we're going to be keyboard warriors, can we not be good keyboard warriors? Can we not be kind keyboard warriors? Or I don't know if I'm explaining myself very well, but
yes, you are. Yes, you are. And I would try to agree. I hope there are plenty Xbox fiends out there, if you get my analogy, people that are willing to reach out and say, what's been done is unacceptable. And this is why I would encourage any Christians watching, especially, to just take this man aside in the Christian way and have a word.
Is that putting the boots to him, medium to heavy style?
No, I mean, you can't change people like that, and so
no, you probably can't, but I don't.
Yeah, you can actually, yeah, but
yeah, usually it just makes them worse.
Yeah, Ali G said, let's just get violent with them, and the protester went, well, violence doesn't solve anything, and he goes, yes, it does. He goes, well, what does it solve? Well, a violent one. And he's got a point. But yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I think scripturally, it's clear that this guy should be taken aside and had a word with in private, away from the public thing. And
but Simus, who are you?
If he doesn't respond to that, then he should be taken aside again in private. And if he doesn't respond to that, then he should be called a heretic and an unbeliever and excommunicated from the Christian community. That would be my impression. Bruce, I'd like Bruce to just respond to that. Do you think am I being fair there, or?
No, you have a good point. I mean, I understand that, but then for me, what I've done, I decided kind of yesterday to step back away from Smokey, and what I felt was I probably need a good Christian mentor in my life, and so I been trying to get closer with this guy Jill. Better learn how to be a good, decent Christian. Anyhow,
what, Jesus is Lord, you mean?
Yeah, I'm just hoping that he can mentor me a little bit.
Bruce.
Oh man.
Okay.
Is Jesus not enough? I mean, really, Bruce.
It's hard for me. Like I have to joke about. Look, it's like a horror movie. I mean, you got to make a joke out of it somewhere.
Oh, I see. Thank you, Bruce. Thank you.
Sorry. I knew where Bruce was going with it.
I mean, when things get this bad, you might as well tell jokes. I mean.
Yeah, I know. My favourite part on Bruce's stream was when he actually sang to Smokey, "Smile a while and give your face a rest." I thought that was brilliant.
Very nice.
He actually, the Canadian Catholic, has a video from like 5 or 6 days back that I saw where Jack Angstreich has a discussion with Smokey.
Oh, sorry, I missed that one.
Interesting.
Yeah, supposedly, I think, I don't know how clickbaity the title is, but it's something Jack Angstreich and another person owns Smokey Saint. So, Canadian Catholic is, I think he's kind of known for clickbaity titles, but I'm surprised the two of them came together. I mean, Angstreich and Smokey. So,
yeah.
Actually,
I think I did watch it. But... Go ahead.
I'm just saying, the Canadian Catholic has some quite good streams, actually. Jack Angstreich's always in there, or very often in there.
Yeah, I think he's in there a fair amount because Detroit is in there, and Detroit is a real smart guy. One of their mates anyway. It's because they're very much into philosophy, and I think Canadian Catholic is trying to improve himself by learning a lot of philosophy. So I think that's why they all kind of congregate. Although I can't remember the name of the actual philosophical checkmate, I think it's called, on Discord.
Yeah, that's Canadian Catholics.
It is it? Okay. although I seem to have been banned from it.
I think I was too. So
Okay, that's interesting.
And you
Sorry,
cap-
I'm
Go ahead.
playing with my new StreamYard toy and my moderator thing. I'm making everybody moderators. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it's all right. There we go. That's good. Okay. So yes, moving. I guess we should move the topic on. Is there anything else that anybody wanted to bring up? No. How's the guitar going, Bruce?
Guitar. I don't know.
You still playing, or?
Yeah, but I got my my left hand for some reason. I started my thumb and my couple fingers are going numb. I don't know what that's about. So I haven't been playing too much in the last so many months. Fun. I don't know. I guess eventually I'll go to the doctor and probably have to get X-rays or see what's going on. But
Trapped nerve or something, maybe. You never know.
yeah, I mean, it seems like it's probably carpal tunnel, but I don't know. Yeah, I won't know until they look into it. Hard to say. I was doing a lot of work with using a sawzall and a bunch of chopping up stuff and spring kind of work in the yard and stuff. I don't know. Maybe I overdid it. I'm not sure.
which fingers?
It's my thumb, mainly my middle finger, a bit of my first finger, and when I've had it really bad, the first, the middle finger and first finger will get numb almost all the way down, and then almost a half of my third finger. So that's why I said it at least from what I've read on it, it sounds like carpal tunnel, but that doesn't mean it couldn't be my neck or hard to tell.
Yeah. Is there any pain or swelling in your wrist?
No.
It sounds like it might be your elbow.
Yeah. In my other hand, I know in my elbow, it seems, well, something's affecting my pinky. Heck, that's been numb for years and years and years. But I guess those are two different nerves, though, coming down through.
Yeah, I think there's 4 that kind of wrap over your elbow. And there's one that gets pinched easiest, and I think it kind of affects your thumb and forefinger area and the middle finger. And that's sort of the primary grip of your hand, and the secondary grip or the fourth and fifth fingers, little finger.
Yeah.
I had occupational therapy on a hand, so I got to learn all about I broke a couple bones in my left hand, so I went through occupational therapy for a few months, and got to learn all about the anatomy of the hand and arm.
Really, really nasty blade on this sawzall. It's like it's real super toothy blade, and like they're usually directional. Like it's made that it pulls it into it and then stops on a kind of a stop.
Yeah.
For this thing, the teeth come straight down. It's super fast for chopping up like rough wood and that kind of stuff for that kind of tool, but it does shake you around a lot.
Yeah.
And of course, when you're holding branches and you're stripping branches and stuff, and you're whacking it with a machete while holding it. Typically, that's what I would do. I'd hold it in my left hand, then swing and strip branches with my right. But I didn't really think about it till later, and I realized, well, that's a heck of a shock. You know what I mean? When it hits the branches, it's really fairly fast, effective work. I mean, get stuff cleaned up, but I don't know. I'm thinking maybe that caused some of it. I don't know. It was good exercise for a while. Yeah. Listen to a smoky debate and go out and work out for a while, You'd think that would be good, Yeah. Work up a sweat and then.
Except you're sawing angry.
I need to run away.
No, I wasn't like that. No, I don't know. But that's pretty well done anyhow now, close. So what the heck, now I just have to take my time doing stuff, and I just really wanted to get stuff done before it got too hot, and wanted my plants and stuff to come back looking better and all that kind of cool stuff. But that's life, though.
Simus is a musician, professional musician.
Back
Who
in the
is?
day.
Retired.
Yeah.
Wow, I
in
think
the
I
day.
probably remember talking with you before. I think.
Yeah, we talked a long time ago about music, and you played me some of your stuff, and I was very
Right.
impressed. And then, as I said, we talked. We met on the Guitar Doctor, which is Will's channel.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We're both sub to that. And I didn't think you knew who I was, but I
No,
was in there, and you came in, and I kind of went, "Oh, right, it's Bruce. Hello, mate. How you doing?"
What in the world? I was in that guitar hangout one time,
Yeah.
and believe it or not, like Will and I, we had that big argument over the Tonewood thing, him and I. Then we became
Oh,
buddies.
okay.
Anyhow, it was crazy. But trying to think who came in there. It has some dang Nazi names and stuff.
There's some strange people in there. I haven't been back there since.
No, the guy in the religious guitar community that's
Mm.
oh man, he's horrible. I can't think what the heck this guy's. He's a flat earther and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, you guys know who I meant if I could think of his name. I heard him talk and I couldn't believe it. He goes by some kind of Nazi thing on MG52 pillbox. That's what pillbox. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Pillbox.
Yeah.
Oh.
42
haven't
pillbox.
heard that name for a long time.
Yeah, well, here I am in this hangout talking about guitars and stuff, and all of a sudden I realized it was Pillbox talking in one of Will's hangouts. I'm like, the heck are you doing here, dude? And then it turned into like we're battling, fighting back and forth, and this guy's got a kick out of it. Just that, like, it was kind of funny though. I mean, just by his voice, it's like you knew who it was,
Yeah. He lives in a hole somewhere in the middle states, doesn't he? Somewhere.
the middle of the earth somewhere.
Yeah.
Easy now,
Oh,
easy
amen.
now, easy now, Simus. I live in the casserole bowl of the United States.
Well, he lives in a hole. I mean, literally.
Yeah.
He lives underground.
Yeah, I don't know. Man.
Yeah,
well,
man.
he
told me.
Yeah, he built a bunker apparently.
He built a bunker and lives down in a bunker somewhere. And
Oh,
it's like,
really? Oh,
yeah.
great.
Okay. Well, one day you'll be a real gnome.
I don't think that he'll dress with quite the same level of whimsy, though.
Yeah, but he could be very obnoxious as well.
Somebody asked. Oh, Red Fang asked me about that. He DM'd me on Discord, and he was like, "Say, do you know who Pillbox is?" And I'm like, "I know. I've seen that name around before." And he said what he was on. He was on G-Man's his GTV channel, and G-Man was talking to him, and can't remember. Oh, Jesus is Lord was on there, and I went over there, and I wasn't sure if it was him or not, and then I confirmed it later. But he was on there talking about. All these people, these atheists are all possessed by demons.
Wow.
Just cracked nonsense, and I was like, okay, well, that sounds like that. I mean, I don't think I ever talked to him myself, but the reputation that he had, I'm like, well, this fits.
Yeah, he was fairly obnoxious, but I mean, it's nice to hear that G-Man's getting the circus together again.
Is he?
Well, I say that. It sounds like there's going to be enough people over there to make a whole circus.
I should tell you, like when I tuned into it, so it was Jill and then Pillbox. Pillbox is ranting, and Shanny for Christ pops in, and so G-Man, like Jill takes off, right? Because there's a woman in there, so obviously he can't be around. So he leaves. So I got to give it to him. At least he's consistent. Like he's not even going to talk to a Christian woman, nominally Christian woman. He takes off. And then Pillbox is there, and so G-Man, he like kind of retires Pillbox at the backstage. Doesn't kick him. He's just like, I'm going to give you a break for a while. It's just going to be me and Shanny for a bit, and then the two of them kind of start awkwardly flirting.
Oh yeah,
a little weird. Not like
but
I don't think they think that they're flirting, but there's actually like a little bit of chemistry there, and it's a little gross.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, there was a video Shani did before she hooked up with Rev, I think, where she'd made a pass at G-Man and he turned her down, and she'd done this like revenge video. Basically, he got pissed, sat in a chair, and pointed at her between her legs and said, "G-Man could have had this." Oh my god!
Has anyone ever shuddered so hard that they almost snapped their own back?
Yeah, I was going to say I wouldn't even wish that on G-Man. I'll be honest. But there you go. But I mean, I can't remember who everybody in the Clown Car Posse was, but it was G-Man was the driver. I remember that. And
Well, I'm pretty sure Veckel was in there. Veckel and Antonio Fletcher.
Veckel used to own the car, yeah. And Antonio was the mechanic. So
Yeah, but Antonio and Beckel, wouldn't they be the more mellow of the almost like the more logical of the group, or am I wrong?
no, I mean if you're going to put that group together, I mean for sure Veckel would be the brains, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't picture Antonio.
Jungle Jargon.
I could be
Jungle
wrong.
Jargon was in there as well. Jungle Jargon, True Empiricism. They were all in there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can understand. I've never seen those guys be like as hateful though as like G-Man and the way Shannon can get. And well, to me, maybe I'm wrong. I might be missing a lot. That's possible. I mean, G-Man, I know can just turn into a. That's why I don't watch him anymore. Although, besides, I have to keep creating sock accounts in hopes that he will let me actually come in and chat. And then as soon as he sees it's me, it's like, bam, I'm kicked. It's been that way for like a couple of years. You can't say anything.
Okay. Again, I actually blocked G-Man about 5 years ago, and best thing I ever did. Yeah. So I have no idea what he does. I don't follow his drama at all.
Simus walks a higher path.
Well, I was in a hangout with him, and he said, Silas, you're stupid. I've seen you. You're stupid. And I said, G-Man, do you fear the Lord your God? And he went, what? I said, do you fear your ever-loving Lord and Saviour, Jesus Christ? And he went, you're blocked! I'm kicking you from the hangout.
Well, and that's weird.
He'd never speak to me. He never spoke to me again.
I had a run-in with him. I was a guest. Jill had brought me in on one of his Sunday streams. This was over a year ago. And G-Man, for whatever reason, got bored and came over.
Say again, Jeff.
Oh, sorry. I didn't realize it dropped.
No, it was a bit of noise from Bruce. I don't know why.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No, that's all right, man.
Yeah, I was on Jill's channel, and we had been talking about something on a Sunday, and then G-Man pops in, and I swear the two of them together got dumber than one of them alone. It was amazing. I'm like, you guys are being... It wasn't just dumb. It was just completely irrational. They were saying, like... They were accusing me and other people that had been watching Jill of dropping docs on Jill. Like, no one's done that. No one knows who Jill is. Like,
right? Did they think Jesus was his real name?
How would you compare this to like brainstorming?
What's that?
How would you compare that to brainstorming?
It would be like if thought could be absorbed like light into a black hole. It'd be more like that. It actually kind of disturbed me. I got kicked because I was upsetting G-Man, so Jill decided to eliminate me. And I don't even remember what we had gotten into it. I tried using some argument or bringing up some argument with him, and he was all because he tried some tactic on me, and he wasn't having it. So Jill was like, "Well, I don't want Spatchcock." Actually, I think I was going by a different username at the time. He's like, I don't want him upsetting GTV, so G-Man, so I had to go. That's fun.
Yeah, I think you dodged a bullet, basically.
The two of them are like, I thought that Veckel and Jill together were bad, but no, G-Man and Jill together. That's worse than Veckel and Von.
Wait, what if you had pillbox? Can that? Well,
Veckel and Von.
I don't know.
Who was that spooky? You may remember.
That what?
Who was the Christian lady who had used to wear a blonde white wig all the time?
Are you talking about
she was a singer, Candice or someone?
Oh, I thought you were talking about maybe Tammy Baker.
Yeah, there you go.
Tammy Baker.
Oh my! I think it might be. I can't remember her name exactly. Andy something, but. She was in a hangout with G-Man and Beckel.
No, it's not Tammy Baker. Then
they were saying about they were saying Candy. I think her name was Candy something. Anyway, they were saying something about destroying atheists and how rude they were to atheists and how great it made them feel and all of this. And she came in with some Bible quotes saying that this isn't the way of Jesus. And G-Man, after arguing for about 10 minutes, if that, G-Man turned around to her and goes, "You do know you're a woman, right?"
What?
God. Wow. And,
oh my God, she hit the fucking roof. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, was it? Wait, was because there was a girl named Candace that was like she was from Taiwan.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
This was an American girl.
No.
Okay.
I remember a lady
Candy
that
something. She was a singer. She had a really great voice, really good singer, and big girl and a really lovely personality. She had a lovely, beautiful face as well. She was a gorgeous girl. And G-Man just decided that, because she contradicted him and was speaking about scripture, that he would remind her that she shouldn't talk about scripture, let alone talk about scripture to a man.
Yeah, because that's the Church of Corinth there, and
yeah.
But,
and the way he phrased it was, "You do know you're a woman, right?"
You know what I saw that cracked me up was Rand Campbell was. I guess you guys got to remember Rand Campbell.
Oh, whoa. Yeah.
And he was starting, going through his whole thing, a number of years ago. And I remember this lady, Africa, he got some discussion with him. She was this real strict Calvinist kind of lady. And she started throwing like Bible scriptures at him. And just in the chat, man, he was flipping out though. Holy heck, did he get mad? That's one thing I noticed those guys can't handle. If they run into someone, especially if it's a woman that knows their Bible really well, they go berserk.
Well, there's a phenomenon called the Reformed epistemology, the Reformed theology group called cage stage.
Somebody's here.
It's cage stage Calvinism. So
cage stage.
They call it cage stage Calvinism. Basically, like you've got a recent convert that's a little too aggressive about their newfound conversion, so they're only fit for the cage until they learn to calm down. And the reason that they think that is because they've basically learned enough about Christianity and some of Calvinist kind of thinking and theology, where they're trying to like weaponize it against everybody that they think is wrong. They end up developing this weird sense that they've got kind of a monopoly on truth. And then as they start to kind of temper down and calm down, then they start to realize that, the people that are wrong, like skeptics and atheists, things like this, it's because the Holy Spirit hasn't regenerated them yet. Like they have to basically get them online and in consistent with this. Like the people that you're yelling at, it's not their fault. They don't know what you're talking about. It's and it's weird that they have a word for this. They have a phrase for this within their own group. I've brought it up with YouTube Christians, and they've never heard of it. They're like, I don't know what that is. It's like the memes are from Christians. Like I've looked it up. I've talked with a former Calvinist, and he's like, oh yeah, amongst Calvinist circles, cage stage Calvinism is the thing. And I'm like, well, other people that are kind of like in the same camp with you guys, they've never heard this before. And he's like, yeah, well.
Interesting. I feel it's the same is true of recent converts to atheism as well. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I feel they're a little too zealous to criticize, but that's not exclusive, right? I mean, I was listening to somebody else, somebody that's been an atheist for many years the other day, trying to just troll people by using incorrect phrases or phrases which just are supposedly, just passive-aggressive phrases.
This was just recently?
Yeah, it was today.
Oh, would you mind telling me in private who it was?
Oh yeah, I'll write it in the side chat, and okay. You'll go, oh yeah, I know those. I'll just write the first name. You'll know the rest.
In the private chat. Let me take a look.
Anyway.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he said.
You were right, man. You're a prophet.
Yeah.
Jefferson, did you ever manage to check out Whiskey Galore, the movie?
Oh yeah.
I didn't. No, not yet.
Oh, I think you'd really like it.
Yeah, I think I tracked it down. I can't.
It's
I don't
quite
remember.
humorous. It's a humorous one, but it's actually a real story.
It's,
It actually happened.
I can't remember. I
it's a
think
classic.
after I tracked that down, I'm pretty sure I found it. Well, I can't remember. I'm gonna have to look it up and find out if I can find it streaming or find it archived somewhere.
It's a classic Scottish movie.
Mm.
I think Spooky likes it, don't you, Spooky?
Although I
yeah,
would want.
go
Go ahead, Spooky.
I remember
Sorry.
it well.
Mm.
But
I will
just,
warn you,
I'm
Jeff.
disagreeing with
You
Wild.
might
I
have
do
to
like
use
it.
subtitles. You might have to use subtitles, Jeff. Go ahead, Spooky.
I'm doing that anyway. I'm starting to get to an age now where, like, if the air conditioner turns on, I've got a fan running. That's like I'm turning the subtitles on. I keep missing too much shit. I'm about 5 years away from a hearing aid, so
Okay.
maybe 5 months away.
Didn't quite mean it like that. There's a lovely.
No, I know what you mean, but
It's a lovely sketch by Malass, Smith and Jones, the same people that did the general sketch. And he's the policeman's from the West Country. He's moved up to London to be a chief officer, and a criminal goes in and starts complaining about the treatment by one of the officers, and he says it all in Cockney, and he just speaks Cockney, and you can barely understand a word of it.
am I even going to be able to? Will I even be able to understand it if I read it?
Well, you can't. I mean, it's a sketch, so you can look it up.
All right.
But,
All right.
and you're not supposed to understand it. That's the point.
Mm.
And then the copper comes on, and he turns to the copper and goes, after not understanding any of it, he turns to the copper and goes, "Well, what's your view of what happened?" And then the copper talks in Cockney as well, and says another exactly the opposite, but all in completely unintelligible language, right? He's damn my manner. He was fitted up like a wrench. It was all like, and he goes on and on about it. And then the police sergeant goes, "Right, Constable, did you understand any of that?" And then he also speaks Cockney. So this police officer behind the desk, the officer just goes, and then he comes out and starts speaking in like West Country. And then because nobody understands what he says, they all go, "Oh, yes, sir. All right, sir." And that's the end of the sketch. It's beautiful.
It kind of sounds like I think maybe Edgar Wright ripped that off in Hot Fuzz.
Oh, well, yeah, possibly, yes. In fact, you're right, absolutely right. You're right.
Because they go out to they take the old guy from the police station out to talk to that old guy out in the country, and you can't understand a word that that no one can. He's no.
Yeah.
And then they translate it back like like, do you have a license for that gun? No, not for this one. What?
Okay, I found the video. I'll put it in chat for everybody. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, it sounds like Edgar Wright probably also is a fan of that and worked the gag and just kind of massaged the gag into his movie.
Yeah, it's called rhyming slang.
Oh, a link. Gosh, I went outside and somebody from YouTube somehow got there from the. He was standing right in my face. He was at the wrong place, delivering, and he's like probably 2 feet away from me in my face. So I go to move over to get away, and he walks over again and walks 2 feet away. What the hell? I don't know.
The pandemic has been hell on close talkers.
Well, that's why I think Jill and those guys call me. They say I'm from the Church of COVID.
I think Jill's the only one that says that because Jill is a lunatic and the most ignorant man on the planet next to G-Man. But
yeah, it was freaking unbelievable though. This dude, I'm like, what the heck are you doing, dude? Like I move over here, then you're freaking right back in my face. What the hell are you? And the guy's like, well, I said, like neither of us have masks. It's like, you dumb fuck. It's like, okay, keep some freaking distance. You don't want to keep it. Fuck, where the hell did you come from? YouTube or what the hell's going on here? No, never mind.
Bruce, have you gotten a vaccine yet?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Oh, you did? Which one did you get?
I got the J&J a number of months ago.